Alright, so final stretch na tayo. Let's try to recall some of the concepts. Alright. Magandang hapon, magandang umaga, magandang gabi kung kailan mo pinapanood to. Alright, so final stretch na tayo. Let's try to recall some of the concepts we learned over the past few months. Right? So, pre-week. Ito guys, yung covers nito, yung new topics lang. Okay, so the other ones, of course, nandun sa isang set natin ng pre-week yan, ha? Okay, sige, let's begin. Truth in Lending Act muna, or otherwise known as our TILA. Alright, so, Republic Act number blank, it states that the policy of the state is to protect the citizens from a lack of awareness of the true cost of credit, okay, to the user by assuring a full disclosure of such cost with a view of preventing uninformed use of credit to the detriment of the national economy. Okay, so again, wala to guys, memory work lang. This is of course letter B. Okay, 3765. Pansinin nyo, medyo luma na yan, but hanggang ngayon po, ginagamit pa rin natin. At dapat po nakikita nyo yung compliance niyan, ha? As you will see later, required yan sa lahat ng credit granting institutions, including banks. Okay, so next natin. Okay, truth in lending pa rin, right? So inulit lang natin yung policy of the state. So for purposes of TILA, are the following. Okay, 1, to protect the creditor from effects of misrepresentation or concealment. Okay, syempre false yan. Okay, false yan. Kasi sino pinoprotect natin? Dapat yung debtor. Okay, now, statement 2, permit the creditor to fully appreciate and evaluate the true cost of credit. Okay, bakit naman? Well, tama naman ginagawa niya yan, pero remember, yung TILA, nag-exist yan para sa borrower o dun sa debtor. Okay, so false din yan. Statement 3, to avoid the circumvention of usury. Okay, so false, false, true. Which of the following are false? Of course, only 2 of the statements. Alright, so again ha, to protect the creditor, mali yan kasi debtor. To permit the creditor, dapat debtor din. Alright, sige. So next, okay, the Truth in Lending Act. Okay, inulit lang natin yung yung policy. Okay, bakit natin inulit-ulit? Kasi para tandaan mo, okay, yung policy na yan, yan yung reason bakit nag-exist yung batas. And that will help you kapag nagtatry ka mag-recall. Tapos medyo, syempre, of course, sa dami ng inaalala natin, kailangan minsan natin ng mga trigger words, okay, para at least ma-associate mo with the concepts that you learned. Okay? So again guys, yung policy na yan, that is important para alam natin kung bakit may batas na ganyan. Alright? So anyway, one of the purposes is to avoid the circumvention of usury, which means contracting for or receiving something in excess of what the law allows for a loan or forbearance of money, goods, or chattels. Right? So ang important dyan guys is in excess of what the law allows. Okay? So consider the following. 1% per week. Okay, simple. 3% per month, compounded. 14% compounded per annum. Which of the following are not usurious per se? Alright? Now, ang sagot natin dito, letter A. Okay, bakit? Remember guys, at present, wala kasing limit talaga, sa totoo lang. Okay, walang limit kung magkano yung interest na pwede. Alright? So strictly speaking, walang ganun. Okay, walang usury. Okay, walang usury or walang usurious rates. Now, what the law does is, dahil nga ganyan ang situation, what they do is to cancel the interest based on being inequitable. Yung sa contracts natin, di ba? Pwedeng i-lower or i-cancel ng court yung interest rate if it is found to be inequitable. Okay, kasi na-violate yung yung mutuality of contracts. Alright? So again ha, pag nakita mo yung usury, it is something in excess of what the law allows. Lampas daw. Pero at present, wala po kasing limit. So technically, walang usury. Right? So sagot natin dito, letter A. Next. Okay, policy of the state. Okay, from lack of awareness, true cost of credit by assuring a full disclosure of such cost with a view of preventing uninformed use of credit to the detriment of the national economy. Right? Ulit lang. One of its purposes is to allow a full appreciation and evaluation of the true cost of credit. What best indicates the true cost of credit? Diba, paulit-ulit yung true cost of credit. Ano ba yun? Alright? Ito po, letter A, yung effective interest rate. Diba, alam natin yan? Diba, nagaganyan kayo sa amortization tables ninyo? Alright? Yan din po yung ginagamit natin sa batas. Kasi, yan naman talaga ang true cost of credit. Alright? Again ha, EIR is the true cost of credit according to our law, specifically the Truth in Lending Act. Alright? Yan po Sige. Next. Okay, next. Ito, medyo mahaba-haba. Same lang, policy of the state, consider the following. IRR is a discount rate. Teka, basahin muna natin. Which of the following are false? Okay, alin ba yung mali? O pag nakakita ka ng ganito, huwag ka matakot. Okay? Sige, isa-isahin lang natin IRR is a discount rate that makes the net present value of all cash flows equal to 0 in a discounted cash flow analysis. Di ba sounds familiar yan? Okay? Yan din po kasi yung IRR na ginagamit nyo sa management advisory services ninyo. Okay? Same. So that is the definition of IRR or what they call internal rate of return. Alright? So true yan. Next, statement 2. The effective interest rate is the interest rate that exactly discounts estimated future cash payments or receipts through the expected life of the financial asset or liability to the gross carrying amount of the financial asset or amortized cost of the financial liability. Alright, again, sounds familiar. Bakit? Kasi yan nga ang definition ng effective interest rate. Okay, parehas lang po. Alright, parehas lang. Okay, so true pa rin. Next, net present value is the quotient obtained by dividing the present value of the future cash flows that will be generated by the initial cost of the project. Alright? So ito guys, ito na yung false natin. Okay, bakit? So only one is false. Bakit? Kasi remember, net present value, okay, is what? Yung difference. Hindi mo siya dinidivide. Minus ang ginagamit mo dyan. Diba? minus, okay, yung future cash flows minus the initial cost will give you the net present value. All right? So, for number 5, the only false statement is yung 3. Okay? Kasi mali yung definition. All right? Sige. Next. Oops. Next. Ay, sorry. Yeah, next. Okay, same lang principle. One of the purposes is to allow full appreciation and evaluation of the true cost of credit. Consider the following. Okay, may tatlo. Which of the following are prohibited inputs or methods in computing the true cost of debt? All right? So ito guys, nakalagay lang to doon sa ano, sa parang um, frequently asked questions ng Bangko Sentral. All right? So ito dagdag kaalaman lang, baka lang mahugot somewhere. So ang hindi allowed dito is yung ano, only one. Ano 'yon? Yung add-on interest. Okay, hindi po pwede expressly. Okay? Expressly ano yan? Expressly prohibited doon sa circular ng Bangko Sentral. Alright? So when you are computing for the true cost of credit or meaning yung effective interest rate, ito pong add-on interest is not an allowed method. It's not an allowed input. Alright? Sige. So once again, ito pong number na to, which one is prohibited? Ito lang po. Isa lang. Itong statement 1 lang natin. Add-on. Okay? Yung add-on. Alright, next. Okay. Policy of the state, same lang. Alright? Thus, TILA requires that any creditor shall furnish to each person to whom credit is extended prior to the consummation of the transaction, a clear statement in writing setting forth several pieces of information on the loan extended. So tandaan po natin tama yan Prior to the consummation, ano raw gagawin? A clear statement in writing. Yun yung disclosure statement. Alright? Now, which of the following is false? If an item charged was omitted from the disclosure. Okay? So yung first proportion natin, ito yung kailangan mong gawin. The question is now, paano kung may na-omit doon sa disclosure? Hindi na isama. What happens? Alright? Alin daw yung false? Statement 1. All finance charges cannot be collected. Yan po ay false. Okay, bakit? Ano lang hindi pwedeng kolektahin? Yung na-omit lang. Okay, yung na-omit lang. Hindi po lahat, yung na-omit lang. Okay? Next. The entire contract is rendered void. Okay? False din po yan. Okay, bakit? Yung Truth in Lending Act, guys, ang pinapakialaman lang niya is yung interest component or yung finance charges. Yun lang. So remember, kapag po may finance charges, may interest, ang ibig sabihin, dalawang portion yung contract mo. Well, one is your main contract, yung loan, and number 2, yung interest component. Ngayon, yan po ay tinatawag na severable, meaning nahihiwalay. Alright? Accessory lang po yung interest. Okay, accessory lang yun. So, ibig sabihin, pag yung interest ay naging void, okay, yung main contract ay hindi yun maapektuhan. Alright? Now, if it were the other way around, kunyari yung loan ang void, ay syempre, kasama yung interest doon. Alright? Kasi hindi ka pwede magkaroon ng interest na walang loan. Pero, yung flip side or yung conversely, pwede kang magkaroon ng loan na walang interest. So, okay lang. Alright? So, statement 2 is false because yung interest component lang po ang maapektuhan. Alright? The remainder of the contract, meaning the loan, is still valid. Okay? So, false din yan. Statement 3. The total recoverable amount for all violations, okay, is 2,000. Hindi po. Okay? 2,000 yan per. Okay? 2,000 yan per finance charge. Okay? Hindi po lang 2,000 ang maximum. Alright? Per finance charge yan. So, again, statement 3, false ulit. So, anong sagot natin dito? Which of the following are false? Lahat po sila. Alright? So, again, all finance charges cannot be collected. False yan. Yung na-omit lang. The entire contract is void. Hindi po. Yung interest component lang. All the total recoverable amount is 2,000. Hindi rin po. Kasi 2,000 per finance charge yan. Alright? Sige. Next. Okay, same policy. Okay, same policy tayo. Dito ka na magsimula. Thus, TILA requires that all covered creditors shall post in conspicuous places in their principal place of business and all branches the disclosure statement as in the prescribed format containing the following. So, again tingnan niyo po ito. All covered creditors, conspicuous places, post, so nakapaskil, in their principal place of business and all branches. Alright? So, sa head office ng BDO, dapat meron. And all the BDO branches. Alright? Yung disclosure statement. So, again, kung gusto mo makita yung disclosure statement, guys, madali lang yan. Punta ka sa isang bangko. Tingin-tingin ka lang doon, you will see it. Promise. Bakit mabilis makita? Kasi required po na nasa conspicuous place. Dapat madaling makita. Alright? So, ano ba yung laman? Okay, ano yung laman? All information required by TILA in the regulations. Syempre, required Okay, required ng batas, required ng regulation. Kasama yan. Right? Number 2, notice that the disclosure statement is an attachment to the loan contract. Yes po. Okay, statement 2, kailangan yan. Okay, kailangan yan. Okay? Kailangan mo pagbigay alam dun sa possible na debtor mo na yung disclosure statement is required. Okay? Required. Kasi para ma-notify mo siya ng karapatan niya. Okay? And statement 3, that the customer has the right to demand a copy of that disclosure statement. Okay? So, 1 is true, 2 is true, and number 3 is also true. So, meaning, which are false? Wala. Okay, lahat po yan required sa Truth in Lending. Okay? Next. Okay. The Truth in Lending Act states that the policy is to protect the citizens from lack of awareness of the true cost of credit to the user by assuring full disclosure of the cost with a view of preventing uninformed use of credit to the detriment of the national economy. So, umulit na naman. Okay, consider the following. Yung question pala muna. Which of the following are outside the scope of tila. Ano rin hindi kasali? Alright? So, dito po ang sagot, all three. Certificate of Time Deposit, credit line, at saka IPO. Now, bakit hindi sila kasali? Remember guys, ang basic rule natin sa tila, okay, this does not apply, or this law does not apply when the debtor sets the interest rate. Okay? Or yung debtor, yung debtor yung nagsiset ng interest. Alright? Again please remember, please take note, please never forget. Tila does not apply to transactions wherein the debtor prescribes the interest rate. Pag debtor ang nagsiset, hindi kasali. Alright? So, dito, Certificate of Time Deposit. Okay? Saan mo ba kinukuha yan? Di ba sa bangko? Now, if nag-deposit ka sa bangko, meron kayong debtor-creditor relationship. Sino ang creditor? Ikaw. Okay? Sa deposit pag deposit ang pinag-uusapan, yung debtor-creditor relationship, yung bangko, siya po ang debtor. So, ang effect nun, pinautang mo yung bangko. Alright? So, statement 1, outside. Kasi yung debtor ang nagsiset. Di ba yung bangko naman ang nagsiset ng interest rate niyan? Alright? Punta ka muna sa statement 3. Okay? Initial public offering of bonds. Bakit ito outside? Again, pag may bond, okay, di ba syempre corporate yan. Most of the time, corporate yung bond. Now, kapag nag-issue ng bond, or pag nag-invest ka sa bond, nag-invest ka sa bond ng isang corporation, sino ang debtor, sino ang creditor? Okay? Di ba, kapag sa books ng corporation yan, bonds payable. Di ba? Bonds payable. So, ibig sabihin, when a corporation issues a bond, ano ang nangyayari? Effectively, nangungutang siya. Okay? So, siya, meaning the corporation, is the creditor. Is the debtor. So, again, sino nagsiset ng interest rate ng bonds? Di ba yung corporation din? So, it is the debtor which sets the interest. So, meaning, outside na naman ng tila yan. Okay? Now, ang next mo, yung last pala, is your credit line arrangement. Now, yung credit line, guys, that is actually not a loan yet. Wala pa pong utang dyan. Alright? It is just, okay, an agreement to enter into a loan. Okay? It's just an agreement to enter into a loan. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa siya pasok sa tila. Okay? Kasi wala pang credit talaga. Okay? Parang, contract to enter into a contract of loan. Alright? So, kaya hindi siya kasali. So, number 9, okay, anong sagot natin? All three are outside the scope of tila. Okay. Next. Okay. Same policy tayo, okay? Same policy. Alright? Now, which are true? So, same policy guys, inulit-ulit ko lang para hindi mo makalimutan. Alright? So, in case of violations, the perpetrators may become subject to civil, criminal, and administrative penalties. Okay? Civil, criminal, and administrative. Consider the following. These liabilities may, but not necessarily be, availed of in the alternative. Okay? So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Pwede ka raw ba magkaso ng civil, ng criminal, at ng administrative? Baliktad pala. Pwede bang makasuhan ng civil case, ng criminal case, or administrative case, okay, in the alternative? Okay? In simple terms, pwede ka bang mamili? Yes, pwede. Okay? Pwede kang mamili kung alin. Okay? Pwede kang mamili at pwedeng kahit alin dyan maging liability niya. Okay? Lahat po yan subject siya at kahit alin dyan pwede siyang maging subject. Alright? Next. Excuse me. Statement 2. These liabilities are not mutually exclusive. So ano ibig sabihin ng mutually exclusive? Pag mutually exclusive, ang ibig sabihin is kapag may pinili kang isa, bawal mo nang piliin yung iba. Yun po ang mutually exclusive. Now, sabi natin kanina, pwedeng kahit alin. Alright? Now, tandaan po natin na yes, pwedeng kahit alin at pwedeng sabay-sabay yan. Alright? Wala pong may pigil dun sa magkakaso sa kanya na kunyari, kinasuhan ng kriminal, walang magpipigil na makasuhan siya ng administrative case. Walang problema yun. Alright? At ganun din sa civil, ganun din sa criminal, ganun din sa admin. Alright? So, pwedeng kahit alin dyan at pwedeng lahat yan maging liability na. So, statement 2, true yan kasi they are not mutually exclusive. Alright? And lastly, statement 3, the choice will necessarily bar the options to choose the others. So, ano ibig sabihin nito? Kapag raw pumili ka ng isa, bawal na yung iba. Ay, syempre, false yan. Kasi kakasabi lang natin na pwedeng kahit alin, pwedeng sabay-sabay. Alright? So, ang sagot natin sa statement tuloy sa number 10 is letter A. Okay? Now, next. The disclosures under the Truth in Lending Act are required by law to be made blank. So, kailan mo daw dapat gawin? Di ba, sinabi na natin kanina? Prior to the consummation. Letter A po. Again prior to the consummation. Okay? Prior prior. Okay? Prior po prior. Okay? Next. According to the Truth in Lending Act, prior to the consummation of the transaction, the creditor shall furnish all of the following information, except, so alin daw yung information na hindi required? Okay? Service charges, nandiyan yan sa listahan. Down payment to be credited, meron yan. Percentage that the finance charges bear to the amount to be financed, nandun din yan. May listahan kasi to, di ba? Again, i-recall mo lang yung listahan natin, you will see na letter D ay wala doon. The place and manner where and how payment should be made by the borrower. Wala po yan, hindi nakalagay. Okay? So number 12, letter D ang sagot natin, yan ay hindi kailangan. Okay? Aside from the required information to be furnished to persons to whom credit is extended, what additional information is required by BSP Circular number 755/2012? Okay, so ito po, again, may listahan tayo, di ba, dun sa ating lecture. Letter C po ang sagot dyan. Alright? Effective annual interest rates. Kailangan po yan. Okay? So letter C. Okay? All registered CGEs shall charge interest based on. Ano yung CGE? Credit Granting Entity. Okay? CGE. Pag nakita mo yung CGE, Credit Granting Entity. Alright? Credit Granting Entity. Now, shall charge interest based on. Siyempre, ang sagot, letter B. Okay? Outstanding balance of a loan at the beginning. Okay? Kasi remember guys, itong interest dito, ito yung monetary interest cost of money. Okay? Ito yung cost of money. Siyempre, yung pera will only earn interest habang hindi pa siya nababayaran. Okay? Kaya nasa beginning. Okay? Kasi yung ibig sabihin, yung loan na nasa beginning, yun yung outstanding the entire time. Meaning yun yung portion na hindi pa nababayaran. Okay? So unless and until that loan or that balance is paid, it will earn interest. Okay? So again ang point lang, yung interest po ay naka-base on beginning balance. Beginning balance. Okay? Letter B. 15. A credit granting entity shall be issued an acknowledgement. Okay, acknowledgement of registration, okay, which shall be valid for, gano'n raw katagal yung acknowledgement of registration, okay? Yan po ay, letter C, 3 years. Okay? So, tatandaan lang, 3 years. CGE, acknowledgement of registration, okay? Yung CGE, guys, yan yung mga other than a bank. Okay, by the way, yung CGE, yan po ay mga hindi bangko. Okay, iba yun. Okay, iba. Sila yung ibang credit granting entity na hindi bangko. Okay? So, gano'n katagal yung kanilang yung acknowledgement of registration? 3 years. Alright? Lipat naman tayo ngayon sa Consumer Act of the Philippines. Alright? So, Consumer Act of the Philippines, guys, napakarami nito. So, bear with me. Okay, bear with me lang. And we'll go through the items one by one. So, this is defined as the date stated on the label of food, drug, cosmetic device, or hazardous substance after which they are not expected. They are not. So, date siya after which they are not expected to retain their claimed safety, efficacy, and quality or potency, and after which it is no longer permissible to sell them. Alright? So, ano yan? Siyempre, yan ay, okay, yan yung expiration date or expiry date. Alright? Okay? So, yung expiry date, guys, again, after which it is not expected to retain their safety, efficacy, quality, or potency. Okay? Tapos, siyempre, bawal mo na ibenta yun. Alright? Bawal mo na ibenta yan. Alright? So, expiry date. Next. So, definition ulit. Identification of drugs and medicines by their scientifically and internationally recognized active ingredients. Okay? Scientifically and internationally recognized active ingredients. So, yan ay generic name. Okay, so remember guys, yung generic name, yan yung scientifically and internationally recognized active ingredient ng drug. Okay? Kaya di ba nire-require ng batas ito? Hindi dapat pag nagre-reseta actually, di ba? Because of the Generics Act. Kailangan yan. Alright? Para hindi ka limited sa choices mo. Kasi remember, kahit iba-iba pangalan yan, their active ingredients are the same. Okay? Kung pareho lang silang ginagawa, okay? Kaya pansinin mo, di ba merong Biogesic, merong Saridol, merong, ano pa nga ba ito? Merong, basta yung mga ganyan, yung pag masakit ang ulo mo, iba-iba yung gamot. Pero take a look. Pag tinignan mong mabuti yung ano nila, yung kanilang active ingredient, lahat yun paracetamol. Alright? Sige. So again scientifically and internationally recognized active ingredients. Alright? Generic name. Any substance that will cause on normal living tissue, okay, normal living tissue, an allergy or photodynamic quality of hypersensitivity. Alright? Yung photodynamic quality of hypersensitivity, allergy po yun. Alright? Now, which becomes evident on reapplication of the same substance. So meaning, kung kunyari, yung first application mo, nagkaroon ka ng reaction, tapos, inulit mo siya, may reaction pa din. Ibig sabihin, allergic ka doon. Alright? Now, so any substance which will cause this, okay, to be designated by such implemented agency. So ano raw ito? Okay, ano yung substance na yan na nagkukos ng allergy or photodynamic quality of hypersensitivity? Ito yun. It is a strong sensitizer. Okay? Ito po yung problem dito sa Consumer Act. May mga definition na katulad nito. Okay? So I suggest, okay, again, daanan mo lang yung definition of terms. Okay? Para lang at least familiar. Okay? Para lang at least familiar kasi medyo mahirap pag memorize na lahat yun. So I suggest you take a look and try to familiarize yourself para kahit paano meron tayong chance na ma-recall yan in case magkaroon ng questions katulad nito. Okay? Sige. Oops, oh sorry. Yan. It means any device written, printed, affixed, or attached. Okay, yun yung una Any device written, printed, affixed, or attached to a consumer product. Yun yung una. Or displayed in a consumer repair or service establishment for the purpose of indicating the retail price per unit or service. Okay? Retail price per unit or service. Siyempre, yan ang price tag. Okay? So again any device. So a price tag is a device written, printed, affixed, or attached, okay, or displayed sa repair or service establishment. Now, bakit magkaiba yun? Kasi hindi mo naman pwede i-attach sa service. Kaya displayed siya. Pero kapag consumer product mismo, pwede syempre written, printed, affixed, or not. Pag service, hindi pwede yun. Kailangan display. Alright? Pero anyway, this thing, ito, is a price tag. Ito po, price tag yan. Okay? Sige. A special packaging. Ano raw yung special packaging? Pag may special packaging, mga kapatid, yan po ay letter B. A special packaging is difficult to open for children. Okay? Kaya pansinin nyo, kapag meron kayong mga biniling gamot, yung meron siyang parang canister or meron siyang parang cylindrical na lalagyan, di ba hindi mo pwedeng basta pihitin lang? Kailangan mo i-press down and then saka mo pipihitin. Kasi, syempre, for very, very small children, medyo mahirapan sila i-figure out yun. Okay? So again, special packaging is difficult to open for children. Ay, alright. The agency in charge of implementing the Consumer Act is of course the DTI. Primarily, ang DTI. Pero syempre mamaya later on, you will find out meron pa iba. Okay? Pero primarily, Department of Trade and Industry, yung DTI. Kaya kapag naka-encounter ka ng, syempre, may mga YouTube video, na instructions, or yung kunyari, may mga commercial, may mga ad, diba, saan ka lumalapit kapag may mga ganitong problem? DTI. Okay, magpapa-mediation, magpa-file ka ng kaso doon. Okay? Normally, mediation yung data. Okay? Next. What word is required to be indicated in substances which are extremely flammable? Alright? Danger po. Okay, danger. Right? Extremely flammable, danger ang nakalagay. Alright? Sige. 8. It is that part of the label that is most likely to be displayed, presented, shown, or examined under normal and customary conditions of display for the retail or sale. Okay, so again, it is part of the label that is most likely to be displayed, presented, shown, or examined under normal and customary conditions of display for retail or sale. So ano raw yan? What part of the label is this? Siyempre, principal display panel. Okay? Principal display panel. So, again guys, just bear with me kasi yung Consumer Act has lots of definitions. Okay? So, we'll try to cover as many of them as possible. Pero again, the best thing for you to do is really to go through the definitions first. Okay? Now, what is the end goal of Deceptive Sales Act or practices? What is the end goal of Deceptive Sales Acts and practices? Letter A po, syempre. Okay, letter A. To induce the customer to enter a sale or lease transaction for any consumer product or service. Alright? Now, tingnan nyo po ang iingatan mo lang dito is this. Deceptive sales. Alright? Pero tingnan mo, ano yung covered? Sales, pati lease. Alright? Yan po ang ingatan mo dyan. Yung Deceptive Sales Act or practices covers not only sales, hindi lang po sales, pati po lease. Okay? Pati lease. Yun lang naman babantayan mo dyan. Okay? Now, next. A seller's deceptive act or practice may only occur. Kailan daw? Pwede mangyari? Letter B. So tandaan ha, yung deceptive act or practice, pwedeng mangyari before, during, or even after makonsummate yung transaction. Okay? So, ito yung wag nating anuhin yung, kasi diba, deception, deceit, or yan diba, sa obligate fraud yan. Okay? Now dito, it can happen, yung deception, it can happen before, during, or even after the transaction already. Okay? So, Consumer Act ha, before, during, or after. An unfair or unconscionable sales act or practice. Okay? So, ano ba yung, bakit siya bawal? Ito yung essentially bakit yun. Okay? Ito po. Ay, hindi kita. Letter B po ito. Ito ang sagot. Letter B. Okay? This practice takes advantage of the ignorance or literacy. Okay? Or illiteracy. Okay? Ito yung hindi nakakabasa. Okay? Yung ignorance, yung kumbaga wala masyadong alam. Okay? Kumbaga kakulangan to sa knowledge or sa information. Okay? So yung unconscionable sales act or practice takes advantage of these things. Okay? Iniisahan ka, kumbaga. Alright? Sige. So, the answer here is letter B. Okay? Okay. Statement 1. Chain distribution plans or pyramid, okay, pyramid sales schemes shall not be employed in the sale of consumer products. Eh, syempre, okay, bawal yan. Nakita mo na yung pyramid, di ba? Bawal yan, right? Bawal yan. Okay? Next, DTI is prohibited from issuing to any entity the authority to conduct any home solicitation sale of any consumer product or service. Mali ito. Okay? Actually, bago ka mag-conduct ng home solicitation, ay kailangan mo ng permit sa DTI. Okay? So, statement 1, bawal talaga yan. Right? Okay, bawal talaga yan. Statement 2, okay, mali ito. Okay, this is false. Bakit? Kasi nga, if you want to conduct home solicitation, you will need to get a permit or authority from the DTI. So, for number 12, the answer is letter A. Okay. Next, which of the following is not a prohibited representation in a home solicitation sale? Alright? So ito, ang assumption dito, valid yung kumbaga, you're allowed to conduct home solicitation. Okay? So meaning dapat may permit ka. So, which is not a prohibited representation? Ano raw yung pwede mong sabihin? The answer here is letter C. That the seller has specifically obtained a permit from the government. But just like what we said a while ago, para makapag-home solicitation ka, it is actually required that you get a permit. So kumbaga, hindi ka naman pagbabawalan sa bibig mo. Okay? Actually, yung kakausapin mo, mas maganda ang maririnig niya yan. Di ba? Now, anong problem? Okay, ano ba yung bawal gawin? Yung A, B, at D. Alright? Kahit may permit ka to conduct home solicitations, yung A, bawal yan. Okay, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na, okay, ay, ikaw nang talaga na nabunot ka or something. Okay, lalo na yung sabihin mo may nanalo ka or something like that. Alright? Next, home solicitation. Bawal mo rin sabihin na yung ginagawa mo is survey lang or research. Eh, hindi pwede. Eh, bakit? Kasi niloloko mo siya. Remember, home solicitation sale ang gusto mo. Hindi ka naman nagsa-survey, hindi ka naman nag-research. Okay? So, bawal yan. Letter D. O, bakit bawal to? Special offer to a few persons only for a limited period of time. Kasi bakit? Again, hindi man totoo yan. Okay? Bawal mo yan gawin. Alright? So, out of the four, once again guys, bago natin iwanan to, alin nga ba ang pwede? Yung letter C lang. When you are conducting a home solicitation sale, you can represent or you can say na you have obtained a permit from the government. And in fact, required yan. Okay? 14. Which of the following is part of the minimum label requirements for consumer products? Okay? Which of the following is part of the minimum label requirements for consumer products? Okay? Minimum. Now, alin daw yung kailangan? A translation? Hindi. Okay? Date of manufacture? Hindi. And any incidental use? Hindi rin. Okay? But you can put those things. Okay lang naman. So, the answer here is letter B. Net quantity. Okay? Net quantity of contents. Okay? Net quantity of contents. So, required po yan, minimum label requirements. Okay? Next. Which of the following is not part? Ito naman, hindi kasali. Okay? Hindi kasali. Not part. Okay? Of minimum label requirements for consumer products. Alin yung hindi kasali dyan? Patent po. Yung trademark kasali. Okay? Country of manufacture, address of importer, if importer. Kasali yan. Okay? Pero yung patent, wala tayong pakialam doon. Alright? Hindi mo na kailangan malaman yan. Okay? Again yung trademark, oo, kailangan yun. Pero yung patent, hindi. Alright? Sige. Okay, this is the same. Okay. 16. In addition to the minimum label requirements, o so dagdag, additional labeling requirements for cosmetics, okay, cosmetics, shall include all of the following, except, so additional labeling for cosmetics daw, alin yung hindi kasali. Alright? Ito po, letter C, color or style of the cosmetic. Alright? Now, remember yung iba, required yan. Expiration date, syempre. Okay, syempre. Kasi yan ay ina-apply sa buka, sa katawan, sa balat. Kailangan mo yung expiration date. Okay? Now, whether or not it may be an irritant. Siyempre. Okay, kasi again, kapag may irritant doon, kapag in-apply again sa buka, sa balat, sa katawan, ay may mangyayaring reaction. Okay, may mangyayaring reaction sa balat mo. Alright? So, kailangan malaman yun nung gagamit. Okay? In contraindications. Okay? Kailangan din yan. Okay? So, once again, all of these things are required except yung color or style of the cosmetic. Alright. Yeah. A food, okay, shall be deemed mislabeled. So, food product is deemed mislabeled if it is offered for sale under the name of another food. Ay, syempre, di ba? Kailangan mo i-label kung ano yun. Okay? Kasi mawawala ng point yung ating pag-require ng label kung hindi mo pa siya totoo. Okay? Now, excuse me. So, even if food rin yung pangalan na nilagay mo, as long as it is a different type of food, okay, or a different name, ay, hindi pwede yun. Okay? Next, a food shall also be mislabeled. Okay? If it bears or contains any artificial flavoring, coloring, or chemical preservative that is not indicated. Okay? Kaya di ba, pagka bumibili ka ng mga food items sa especially may separate packaging, siyempre sa palengke mo makita yan. Pero kunyari, bumili ka ng sa 7-Eleven, yung meron yung sa likod, tapos meron nutritional facts, tapos meron pang mas maliit na na portion, ingredients, doon mo makita kung ano yung mga ingredients na ginamit. So again, artificial flavoring, artificial coloring, or chemical preservative, okay, that is not indicated, mislabeled yan. Alright? Okay? So, 1 and 2, pareho pong mislabeled yan. Therefore, our answer here is letter C. Both are true. Okay. Next, if a drug is for use by man, yung man po dito, again, this is an old law. Yung man po, ibig sabihin niyan, hindi po lalaki Ibig sabihin niyan, tao. Okay? So, pasensya na, yung batas natin kasi medyo dated na, hindi po siya gender neutral. Kaya ganyan. Pero again, pag nakita niyo po ito, is for use by man, ang ibig sabihin niyan, tao. Okay? And contains, so drug, which contains any cannabis, heroin, morphine, or opium. Okay? Itong mga to, guys, these are all regulated substances. Okay? And, guys, remember drug in the context of a drug, ito, gamot. Okay? Hindi ito yung drugs na, okay? Hindi ito yung drugs na illegal, yung, tawag dito, hindi ito yung drugs ng mga drogista. Okay? So, ang sabi dito, drug, ang ibig niya sabihin, gamot. So pag may gamot daw, nagagamitin ng tao, and it contains these things, kasi pwede po yun. Okay? Kasi these are used normally for pain relief. Okay? Pag sobrang sakit na ng mga nararamdaman mo, these things are normally resorted to. Okay? Pero hindi yan pure. Okay? Meron ng content. So, if yung gamot mo ay may ganyan, the label should contain, okay, letter C, quantity or proportion. Okay? Kasi again, yung drug, okay, may laman na ganito. So, you need the quantity or the proportion. Okay? And statement 2. Adequate directions for use. Okay? So, yung dalawa lang. 1 and 3. Yan lang po ang required. Hindi na po sinasama itong statement 2. Okay? Kahit na parang pag inisip mo, nga, no? Bakit pwedeng ilagay? Hindi po. Ang required lang ay 1, quantity or proportion. Number 2, yung directions. Paano siya ginagamit. Alright? Kasi normally yung mga ganito po, hindi na siya yung ini-ingest lang, hindi siya basta iniinom lang. Okay? Meron na pong proper process kung paano mo yung gagamitin. Okay? So again, bago natin iwanan to, yung drug po na sinasabi dito, hindi po ito yung pandurogista. Yan po ay gamot. Okay? Tapos yung man, hindi po lalaki. Yan po ay tao. Alright? Sige. Next. For hazardous substance, okay? For a hazardous substance that is defined as highly toxic, okay? Which word should appear in the label? So marami pong iba't ibang uri ng hazardous substance, ha? Now, one of which, kapag yung hazardous substance mo is highly toxic, ano dapat yung lalabas sa label? Yan po ay letter B, okay? Poison. Again, ha? Hazardous substance, highly toxic, that is poison. Okay? Kailangan mo ilagay yung poison. So, number 19, poison na sagot. Okay? The statement, quote, keep out of reach of children, end quote, should be indicated in ito, articles not intended by children, okay, at the same time is not a banned hazardous substance. Alright? So again, not intended for children, marami kasing uri ng ganyan. Pero dapat, not intended for children, but it is not banned. Okay? Doon mo lang gagamitin itong phrase. So tandaan mo na lang to. Okay? Ito lang. Okay? So, ang trick dyan is it is not intended for children, but it is not banned. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pwede mo siyang gamitin. Okay? As long as you are not a child. Okay? Sige. Ayan, bonus round. The Consumer Act of the Philippines is of course 7394. Okay, letter B. Okay, wala lang. Para lang alam natin. Right? Para lang alam natin. Ayun. Again guys, para ano lang tayo, para kompleto ang discussion, dapat alam natin yung policy, yung general policy of the state. Okay? Kasi bakit? Yan po yung dahilan kung bakit may ganyang batas. Alright? So it is the policy of the state to protect the interest of the consumer, okay? Promote the general welfare ng consumer, and establish standards for the conduct of the business in the industry. Again, protect the interest of the consumer, protect the general welfare of the consumer, and establish standards of conduct for business and industry. Alright? Implement measures. Alright. So, 1. Protection against hazards to health, safety, and deceptive and unfair, unconscionable sales as and practices. True yan. Okay, true. Alright? Next, provision of information and education to facilitate sound choice in the proper exercise of rights by consumers and of adequate rights, means of redress, specifically recognized as constituting the doing of an insurance business within, ay, ano to? Hindi yan kasali, sorry. Anyway, pasensya na, tanggalin mo yan. Alright, ito lang, hanggang dito lang. Okay? Provision of information and education to facilitate sound choice in the proper exercise of rights by the consumers and of adequate rights and means of redress. Okay, hanggang dyan lang. Huwag mong pansinin yung remainder. Alright? So, statement 3. True din yan ha, yung 2. Statement 3, involvement of consumer representatives in the formulation of social and economic policies. Which of the following is false? Wala po. Lahat yun ay true. Okay? Dahil dun sa policy natin, yung 1, 2, and 3, yan po yung ginagawa ng ating gobyerno. Protection, provision, saka involvement. Alright? So letter D. Next, in terms of consumer product quality and safety, the Consumer Act states that it shall be the duty of the state to develop and provide safety and quality standards for consumer products, including performance or use-oriented standards, codes of practice, methods of test, and to assist the consumer in evaluating the quality, including safety, performance, and comparative utility of consumer products. Alright? So, normally guys, ito yung sa yung di ba may tatak yan kapag pumasa sa DTI tests, okay? May tatak yan. So that one is an application of these duties of the state. Alright? Now, furthermore, to protect the public against unreasonable risk of injury associated with consumer products. Yes. Kaya nga tinetest nila, di ba? Normally, ang typical example dyan is yung mga, dati. Nauso kasi yung mga Christmas lights noon na medyo, alam nyo na, murang-mura lang. Kasi di ba, syempre, bibili ka lang naman yan sa Pasko. Tapos gagamitin mo lang siya ng 1, 2 buwan. Kasi tatago mo na. Diba, gano'n. Hanap ka ng mura. Tapos yun na, malalaman mo na lang, sunod na yung bahay mo. Okay? Kasi, kumbaga, for lack of a better term, mahinang klase. Alright? So normally, sinecheck yan ni DTI, tapos yung dapat binibenta sa mga tindahan, yung mga pwede lang nilang i-display, yung mga pwede lang nilang i-offer for sale, is yung mga pumasa doon. Okay? Bakit? Kasi the DTI is required, duty-bound, in fact, to protect the public against unreasonable risk of injury. Okay? Now, to undertake research and quality improvement, investigation into the causes and prevention of product-related deaths. Okay? So may statistics sila. Okay? Meron silang research. Yes, that is true. And to assure the public of the consistency of standardized products. Okay? Tama rin naman. Kaya nila tinitest, diba? Anong example niyan? Yung mga helmet. Okay? Siyempre, may minimum standards yung mga helmet sa yung nagmomotor sa inyo. Okay? So, di ba, may mga helmet na binibili, dapat may tatak ng DTI yon. Bakit? Kasi meron yung minimum standards kung paano dapat yung construction nung helmet mo. Okay? Paano yung kanyang yung structural integrity niya, yung mga ganyan bagay. Okay? So, lahat po yan ay part ng duty, okay, ng state through the DTI. Okay? So, which of the following are false? Siyempre, wala. Alright? Next, in terms of consumer product and quality, okay, The Consumer Act of the Philippines states that the provisions of this article, okay, meron kasing section yan, meron kasing sariling section yan, doon sa Consumer Act natin, okay, and its rules and regulations shall be enforced by, ito pa yung sinasabi ko kanina, na aside from DTI, okay, we have to take into consideration kung ano yung product na yan. Okay, kasi tingnan nyo, sino raw mag-enforce? Department of Health with respect to food, drugs, cosmetics, devices, and substances. True yan. And to some extent, guys, tandaan lang natin, meron na rin pong duties yung FDA, yung Food and Drug Administration. Okay, meron na siyang ganon. Okay? So, if I remember correctly, some of the functions of the Department of Health have been absorbed by the FDA already. Alright? Kaya di ba napansin nyo nung nagpapa-approve ng mga vaccine? Okay? So, if you remember, yung mga nagpapa-approve ng mga vaccine noon, saan sila dumadaan? Di ba? Anong inaantay dyan? Yung approval ng FDA. Alright? So, next, Department of Agriculture. Siyempre, pag agricultural product, alright? True din yan. Okay? And Department of Trade and Industry, kapag hindi covered ng DOH, kapag hindi covered ng Department of Agriculture. Okay? So, anong sagot natin dito? None are false. Okay? None are false. Kasi true lahat. So again, guys, please remember, it is also important for us to determine what type of product that is. Alright? Kasi, depende kung saan ka pupunta. Pero yung pinaka-common naman, kasi most consumer products, under DTI naman talaga yan. Okay? It's just good for us to know na meron ding ibang departments or may ibang agencies sa gobyerno na pwede nating lapitan depending on what the product is. Okay? Next. In terms of deceptive, unfair, unconscionable sales act or practices, the Consumer Act of the Philippines states, okay, the state shall promote, encourage fair, honest, equitable relations among the parties in consumer transactions. Sino bang parties doon? Siyempre, yung seller at saka yung consumer. Alright? Next, true yan ha. Next, the state shall protect the consumer against deceptive, unfair, and unconscionable sales acts or practices. True. Kapag niloko ka, you can go to the proper agency. Binibigyan ka ng remedy. Okay? Binibigyan ka ng redress. Alright? And number 3, the DTI, okay, shall enforce the provisions of this chapter. Regarding ito ha, deceptive, unfair, unconscionable sales acts and practices, ang in charge dyan, si DTI. Alright? So 1, 2, and 3, true lahat. Which of the following are false? Of course, wala. Okay? Next. Okay, ganun pa rin. Deceptive. Okay? So under that title, balikan lang natin si home solicitation. Okay? Pansinin ha, home solicitation sale. Pero tingnan mo, consumer sales or leases. Okay, wag po nating kalilimutan 'yon. Kahit na yung title ay Unconscionable Sales Acts, Home Solicitation Sale, it covers not only sales but also leases. All right? Now, they're personally solicited by any person, organization by telephone, person to person, written or printed communication other than general advertising or consummated at the buyer's residence, place of business, at the seller's transient quarters, or away from the seller's regular place of business. Yan po yung meaning. Okay, na home solicitation sale. All right? So, tandaan mo na lang or kulayan mo na itong part na to. Yan ang definition. All right? So, next. No business entity shall conduct any home solicitation sale of any consumer product or service without first obtaining a permit from the department. Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina. Alright? Na yung home solicitation sale requires that the entity obtain a permit from the department. Ano yung department? DTI. Kukuha ka. Alright? So, furthermore, a home solicitation sale shall not represent that. Ito yung katulad kaninang question. Okay? So, shall not represent. So, hindi mo na pwedeng sabihin that the buyer has been specifically selected, a survey is being conducted, or the seller is making a special offer. Which are false. Okay? Bawal po lahat yan. Okay, so walang false dyan. Bawal lahat ito. Okay? Sige. Alright, ito naman tungkol sa mga warranty. Okay, warranty. Alam natin yan, di ba? Familiar tayo dun sa sales natin, may mga warranty. Now, if you take a look, consumer product and consumer service warranties. Anong sabi? The Consumer Act, okay, shall be in addition. Okay? Anong sabi? The Consumer Act shall be in addition daw. So, ibig sabihin, kapag may consumer product sales, okay, or service, okay, sales of service, what happens? Ang susundan mo pa rin yung civil code. Okay, di ba meron tayong conditions and warranties doon? Alright? Now, itong Consumer Act ay in addition. Pandagdag, okay, supplement, okay, doon sa civil code natin. So, ang initial mong titingnan, syempre, civil code. Alright? Now, ito, in the sale of consumer products, okay, ito ang tandaan mo dito. 1, express warranty. Alright? So, anong option? First is, ito, repair. Okay, that's the first R. Okay, repair. Okay, repair po. Okay, breach of express warranty. First option, repair. Okay? Tapos yung repair daw must be done within 30 days. Otherwise, wala na. Okay? Now, next, express warranty in statement 2. Okay? Kung ayaw mo ng repair, pwedeng refund. Okay? Kaya hindi po pwede yung sinasabi nilang no refund. Okay? No refund, no exchange. No return, no exchange. Hindi pwede yun. Okay? Bakit? Kasi, sabi ng Consumer Act, pwede. Okay? Hindi lang repair ang option mo. Okay? Hindi lang repair. Sabi, pwede mo rin daw ipa-refund. Ano lang ang condition? Dapat may breach of warranty. Okay? Ano yung warranty? Express. Okay? Breach of express warranty. Alright? Now, ang tatandaan mo ng pag-refund, okay, is this. Ito, the amount directly attributable to the use, okay, prior to the discovery, shall be deducted. Ano yun? Yan po ay depreciation. Allowance for depreciation. Kasi ginagamit mo. Di ba, remember yung depreciation, yan po yung ano mo, yan yung nag-enjoy ka ng economic benefit in a systematic allocative manner. Alright? So, kailangan mo bawasan yung depreciation. Alright? So, hindi po yung full price ang makukuha mo. It is subject to an allowance for depreciation. Alright? Now, again, first, express warranty. Yung second, express warranty pa rin. Now, let's go to number 3. Ito, yung third, implied naman. Okay? Implied warranty ang may breach. What happens? You can retain the goods and recover damages or reject the goods, cancel the contract, and get damages also. Okay? So, essentially refund po ito. Okay? Kasi implied warranty. So, dalawa pang situation ha. First, you can choose to retain the goods and recover damages. Okay? Or, you can reject the goods, cancel the contract, recover the purchase price, and damages. Okay? So, dalawa. Either po yan. So, pag tinago mo yung goods, hindi mo na binalik, damages na lang kukunin mo. Ngayon, kapag binalik mo naman yung goods, you can recover the purchase price and of course, damages. So, which of the following are false? Siyempre, wala. Okay, tama lang. Next. Warranties pa rin. Okay, so remember ha, yung warranties po sa Consumer Act are in addition doon sa warranties na nasa civil code natin. Now, ito naman, yung kanina sa products kasi. Okay, ito naman services. So, for every supply of service, there is an implied warranty. Okay, so bawat isang service guys, may implied warranty yan. Okay na? Rendered with due care and skill. So, dapat marunong ka. Okay, marunong ka. Similar doon sa auditing theory nyo. Diba? Meron ganyan. Now, due care and skill. That any material is reasonably fit. Siyempre, pag inayos mo kunyari, may naayos ka na consumer product, okay, nag-render ka ng service, inaayos mo, dapat yung mga tools at saka yung mga materials na gagamitin mo para maayos yung product ay reasonably fit for the purpose. Okay? Implied warranty po yun. Kahit hindi nyo pag-agrihan. Okay? Yun po ay kasama dun sa inyong contract. Alright? So, statement 2 naman. Okay? Services ulit in the course of business. Tapos, the consumer makes known the particular purpose. Okay? So, implied or express. Sinabi mo kung bakit mo ginagawa yung or bakit mo inavail yung services. There is again an implied warranty that the material will be reasonably fit for that purpose. Okay? Or of a reasonable, or of a nature or quality that is reasonably expected to achieve the result. Kasi nga, di ba yung result ay yung objective or yung purpose ng consumer ay ipinaalam sa iyo. So, dapat mangyayari yun. Okay? Yung ginamit mong material ay makakamit kung ano man yung purpose ng consumer. Alright? So, again, implied warranty. Kahit po hindi nyo pinag-usapan directly, okay, yan po ay kasali. Okay? Now, lastly, this one is what? Express warranty naman ito. Okay? Guarantee workmanship and replacement of spare parts not less than 90 days shall be indicated in the invoice. Yan, express naman. Okay? 1 and 2, implied. Yung third, express. Okay? So, pag nagpagawa ka, guarantee workmanship and replacement of the parts, 90 days ang minimum. So, which of the following are false? So, wala po. Okay, letter D. Okay? Letter D. None of which are false. Alright, next. Labeling and packaging. Alright, labeling and packaging naman. The state shall enforce compulsory. Nakita niyo po, compulsory. Meaning, wala po tayong choice. Alright, mandatory. And fair packaging to enable the consumer to obtain accurate information. Okay, again para kanino to? Para sa consumer. As evidenced by what? Diba ang title ng batas, Consumer Act. Para sa consumer ito. Okay? So, information as to the nature, quality, and quantity of the contents of consumer products and facilitate comparison. Alright? Kaya po pinapalagay ang mga nasa packaging na yan, tsaka yung labels. Kaya ganun ang requirements. Is to allow, not only for you to know kung ano yan, it also allows you to compare. Okay? Kasi remember if you remember our competition lessons, kailan mo makukuha yung best price, di ba? Kapag may competition. Wala namang sense kung may competition kung hindi mo naman kayang i-compare yung products. Alright? Next. So, dahil nga mandatory ito, it shall be unlawful for any person engaged in the labeling or packaging to display, distribute, or to cause to be displayed or distributed any consumer product whose label or packaging does not conform with the provisions of this chapter. Okay, so, hindi mo pwedeng ibenta. Okay, hindi mo pwedeng ibenta yan. Okay, kasi nga, yung labeling and fair packaging are compulsory. Okay, mandatory yan. Now, however, okay, so yan yung rule. Ito exception. The prohibition on this chapter shall not apply to persons engaged in the business of wholesale or retail distributors of consumer products, except to the extent that such persons, okay, are engaged. So, hindi raw siya applicable to wholesalers and retailers. Okay, hindi. Okay, hindi Except to the extent that such persons. So, itong except na ito, ang ibig sabihin, magiging applicable na sa kanila. Okay? So, again, yung prohibition na to, itong it shall be unlawful, does not apply to wholesale or retail distributors. Maliban na lang kung sila itong 1, 2, and 3. Kung yung wholesale or retail are part of 1, 2, and 3, ibig sabihin, applicable sa kanila yung prohibition. Ito, yung part na to. Okay? So, except to the extent that such persons, 1, are engaged in packaging or labeling of such products, pag sila yung nagli-label talaga, ayan, di bawal. Right? Number 2, prescribe or specify any means, okay, the manner in which such products or packaged or labels. Pag sila yung nagdikta kung paano yan i-label. So kung sila nagdikta kung paano i-label, edi sila yung nagsabi ng mali or sila yung nagsabi ng mali. Right? Or number 3, having knowledge. Alam nila na mislabeled. Refuse to disclose the source of the mislabeled or mispackaged product. Okay? Pero ito requires knowledge siyempre. Kasi paano naman nila i-disclose kung hindi nila alam? Alright? So which of the following is false? Of course, wala. Tama lahat yun. Okay? So those are all exceptions. Okay? Next. Labeling, again, provides for a price tag. Okay? Price tag requirement. So one of the facets of labeling and fair packaging refers to the price tag. So again, ito pa ay required na naman. Okay? So 1, it shall be unlawful to offer to any consumer product for retail sale to the public without an appropriate price tag, label, or marking publicly displayed to indicate the price of each article, and said products are not to be sold at a price higher than stated therein or without discrimination against to all buyers. Now, anong point? Anong ibig sabihin nun? Hindi ka pwedeng magbenta na walang price tag. Okay? Given, ano naman yan, understood. Also, hindi rin pwede na may price tag nga, pero mas mahal mo siyang binibenta. Okay? I'm sure naka-encounter na kayo niyan probably sa mga mall. Okay, na ay, bawal nga yun dapat eh. Yung, di ba, may kukuha ka ng item, may price tag. Tapos pagka pagbaril nila dun sa barcode, iba yung presyo. Mas mataas. Tapos kung ano sasabihin dahilan sa'yo. Actually, bawal yun guys. Okay, bawal yun. Alright? Not to be sold at a higher price dapat. Okay lang kung pababa. Okay? Kung kunyari, ang price tag niya 100, pero pagbaril dun sa barcode, 50. No problem yun. Okay? Kasi mas mababa. Okay lang. Pero kung mas mataas, that's the problem. Yun pa ay prohibited. Alright? So, number 1, that is unlawful. True yan. 2, price tags, labels, or markings must be written clearly, indicating the price per unit in pesos and in centavos. Alright? Kaya po, di ba, pagka bumibili ka, may inis ka na may butal. Di ba yung nangyari? At 10.73, mga ganyan. Required kasi yun, na in centavos. Okay? Pesos and centavos. Now, usually yung centavos, 2 decimal places lang naman. Okay? Hindi naman overkill yan na, parang yung ginagawa nyo probably sa cost accounting na 5 decimal places. Hindi naman ganun. Alright? Dalawa lang. Okay? Now, true din yan ha. 3, however, if consumer products are too small or of the nature which it makes it impractical to place a price tag, okay, thereon, a price list placed at the nearest point of the products are displayed, indicating the retail price of the same may suffice. Alright, too small. Pag hindi mo kayang dikitan na ng price tag, sobrang liit, or impractical. Okay, kunyari, yung sa mga, di ba may ibang stores na bibenta ng mga candy or chocolate na hindi naman naka-individually wrap, alam namang lagyan mo yun. Di ba? Kakainin mo pa ba yun? Pag kunyari, okay, hindi siya individually wrap. Yung sinasandok, I'm sure nakakita na kayo ng ganong store, di ba? So, wala, dun sa individual pieces of candy or individual pieces of chocolate, hindi na ilalagay yung presyo. Okay? Kasi bakit mo ilalagay dun, di ba? Now, so generally speaking, dapat may price tag. Maliban na lang kung doon ka sa number 3. Alright? So, for number 30, ang sagot natin sa question na which of the following are false, ay, syempre, letter B. Okay? Lahat po yan ay true. Okay. Alright. Okay. Next naman natin is FRIA, Financial Rehabilitation and Insolvency Act. KRA 11142. So, number 1, which of the following statements is true regarding the proceedings under the Financial Rehabilitation and Insolvency Act? Of course, letter A po yan ha. It is a proceeding in rem, okay, which binds the whole world. Okay? So, in rem. 2, an insolvent person is one who is generally unable to pay its liabilities, of course, has liabilities greater than his assets. Now, the answer here is, hindi makita, pero letter C po yan. Okay, both 1 and 2. Okay? So, under FRIA, guys, yung insolvent, dalawang ibig sabihin. Itong number 1, okay, unable to pay liabilities as they fall due, okay, or has liabilities greater than its assets. So, or po yan ha, or, okay? So, again, under the FRIA, dalawang ibig sabihin ng insolvent. Alright? Number 3, statement 1. Okay? In order to be considered as a creditor under FRIA, the credit must have been secured. Security. Secured yan dapat. Alright? Pero statement 1, guys, is false. Okay? So, creditor, kahit po yung unsecured, pwede. Okay? Kahit nga yung contingent lang, pwede. Okay? Now, statement 2. In order to be considered as a creditor, the claim of the creditor must have arisen on or before commencement date. Ito, true ito. Okay, so remember lang guys So, statement 1 is false, statement 2 is true. So, ano sagot natin? Letter B. Okay? Now, remember lang, sa FRIA guys, if, for example, okay, you are a creditor, okay, who has a credit on or before commencement date, claim ang tawag sa'yo. Okay? If, for example, yung contract mo came after the commencement date, administrative expense ka na nun. Okay? So, before commencement date, on or before commencement date, ang tawag sa'yo, claim. Okay? Claim yan. After, administrative expense ka na. Alright? So, in order for you to be a creditor who has a claim, kailangan on or before commencement date. So, letter B. Which of the following proceedings is covered under FRIA? Okay, syempre lahat. Okay, lahat yan. Okay, lahat yan. Covered. Okay? Number 5. This involves calling the creditors to a meeting to propose and agree on a schedule of payments. Okay, schedule of payments. And to prevent the debtor from making payment outside the necessary or legitimate expenses of the business. And the issuance of a suspension order. to prevent pending executions against the debtor. So dalawa po ang titingnan mo, schedule of payments at saka suspension order. Anong nangyayari kapag may ganitong mga events? Suspension of payments po. Okay? So suspension order sa suspension of payments yan, Mike. Alright? Now, suspension of payments cover, okay, of course, only individual debtors. Okay? Suspension of payments po for individual debtors lamang at tandaan, yung individual debtor po, hindi po pwedeng magpa-corporate rehab yan. Okay? Hindi pwede ha. Wala pong rehabilitation for individuals. Ang nangyayari lang is suspension of payments. Alright? Sige. Letter A. Number 7. In suspension of payments, remember, letter B. Okay? Letter B ha. The amount of indebtedness is not affected. Alright? Not affected. So pareho pa din. Again, suspension of payments lang. Yung schedule lang po ang gusto mong palitan. Alright? Sige. Next. How much is the minimum requirement for the amount of claims in a suspension of payment? So magkano? Kailangan at least meron kang letter D. Wala. Okay, wala. Okay? So wala pong minimum dyan. Okay? So next. Number 9. Under the suspension of payments, the debtor is required to be insolvent. False po. Okay, false yan. The statement 1 is false. Bakit? Remember, one of the prerequisites, okay, for suspension of payments is meron kang sufficient assets to cover your liabilities. Okay, so hindi pwedeng insolvent ka kasi meron kang sufficient assets, okay, to cover your liabilities. Now, statement 2. So, statement 1 guys, false yun. Statement 2. Suspension of payments is initiated by the debtor. Eh, syempre, true yun. Okay, true yun. Wala pong involuntary na ganito. Galing po sa debtor yun. So, statement 1 is false. Statement 2 is true. Okay? Next. As a rule, no creditor shall sue or institute to collect the claim from the debtor from the time of the filing of the petition for suspension of payments and for as long as the proceedings remain pending. Tama naman yun. Okay? Which of the following creditors are exempted from this prohibition? Hindi po exempted. Okay? Now, listahan yan. Okay, listahan po yan. Wala, kailangan lang natin tandaan. Letter A po ang sagot. Okay, letter A. Personal label. Hindi siya exempted. Okay? Number 11. As a rule, no creditor shall sue or institute. Okay, pareho lang. Okay? Now, we are just getting the other creditors na exempt. Okay? So, which of the following are not exempted from this prohibition? Okay? So, again, no creditor shall sue or collect. Okay? For as long as. So, ang tanong dito, sino yung pwede? Okay? Sino yung pwede? Okay? Ito. Oops. Yan. Okay? Letter D. Creditors having claims pertaining. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung A, B, and C, hindi sila covered nung prohibition. Okay? So remember, as a rule, wala muna magdemanda. Okay? Wala muna. However, kung yung claim mo ay saan nanggaling? Okay? Kung yung claim mo ay nanggaling sa, ito, maintenance, pertaining to last illness of the wife of the debtor, or claims pertaining to funeral expenses of the children of the debtor, what happens? Pwede kang magdemanda para mangolekta. Okay? So A, B, and C, pwede pong mangolekta yan kahit na may petition for suspension of payments. Okay lang. Okay? So again, wala tayong magagawa. Listahan po yan, ha? Listahan. So kailangan nating i-familiarize yung ating sarili. Alright? Sige. Next. In relation to suspension of payments, okay, in order to constitute a quorum, okay, siyempre, di ba, makikipag-usap ka sa creditors mo dito. In order to constitute a quorum, how many creditors should attend the meeting? Okay? Kasi remember guys, yung quorum na yan, siyempre, yan ay term na ang assumption, merong meeting na nagaganap. Okay? So, okay. Anong sagot natin dyan? Quorum po ito ha, quorum. Okay, anong sagot? Letter C. 3/5 of the liability. Okay, 3/5 of the liabilities of the debtor para magkaroon ng quorum, ha? Okay, so again, ano ba yung quorum? Same naman yung meaning. It is the minimum number required to transact official business. Okay? So next, 13. Okay, in order to approve the proposed agreement with creditors, a double majority is required. Okay, so double majority yung nire-require ng ating batas para ma-approve yung suspension, yung proposed agreement mo in the context po ito ng suspension of payments, ha? Okay? So meron pong proceeding for suspension of payments, tapos tinatanong sa atin, ilan ba yung kailangan para ma-approve yung plan dyan? Okay? Double majority. So ano ibig sabihin ng double majority? Letter B po. Okay, letter B. Right? Yan po ay yung 2/3 of the creditors voting. Tapos dapat, okay, yung majority na yan should be at least 3/5 of the total liabilities. So dalawa po. Okay? So letter B. 14, definition. Restoration of the debtor to a condition of successful operation and solvency. Siyempre, rehab. Okay, yan po yung gusto mong mangyari. Okay, rehabilitation ang tawag dyan. Okay? Next. If a corporation is the debtor, who initiates involuntary rehabilitation? Alright? Sino? Pag involuntary, sino? Siyempre, yung creditor. Hindi pwedeng sila. Involuntary nga. Alright? Ingat ha. Ingat lang. Next. If the corporation is the debtor, who initiates voluntary rehabilitation? Alright? So, of course, pag ganyan, voluntary, yung creditor ay yung corporation ng panggagalingan, the answer there is letter D. Okay? 2 and 3. Majority of the director, syempre, sa kanila manggagaling yan, and it has to be approved by 2/3. Okay? So, OCS or yung members. So, remember lang, di ba meron kayong listahan probably ng mga voting requirements, ay isama mo na ito. Correct? Isama mo na rin siya. Okay? 2/3. Next. Involuntary. Okay? Rehabilitation may be initiated by creditors with claims or aggregate claims is. Okay? The answer here ba? Sumobra pala to. So, anyway, the answer here is letter A. Okay, letter A. At least 1 million or 25% of the subscribed, okay, subscribed capital stock or partners' contributions, whichever is higher. Okay? So, kailangan yung creditor, yan ang extent ng claim niya. Hindi pwedeng, kunyari, may utang kang inutangan ka ng 5 pesos, okay, ng corporation, hindi pwede. Kailangan yan ang minimum. Alright? Siyempre, para maiwasan yung mga nanggugulo lang. Right? So, yan po ang minimum. So, letter A ang sagot dito, ha? Next, in rehabilitation proceedings under PREA, the commencement order includes, of course, a stay order. Okay, stay. Okay, stay order po ang kasama ng commencement. So, bawat commencement order, merong ganyan. Okay? Next, the commencement order has the effect of, okay, suspension of all actions, okay, enforcement of claims, yes. Suspend all actions to enforce any judgment or attachment, provisional remedies against the debtor, yes din. So, ang answer natin dito is, siyempre, letter C. Okay, so yan po ang effect ng commencement order. 20, a commencement order is issued within, siyempre, 5 days. Okay, dapat mabilis yan. Okay, kaya ka nga nag-file eh. Okay? Okay, mabilis yan ha, mabilis yan. Bakit ganito po? A, B, C, D. Ang sagot natin, A. Okay, 5 days from filing of the petition. Okay, kasi remember guys, this is one instance na time is of the essence. Kasi remember, file ka nito, most likely, pinagkakaisaan ka na, or pag nalaman, mag-uunahan na yung creditors mo. So you need to act quickly, and of course, kailangan yung court din is mandated to act quickly. Alright? Sige. Next. A case for estafa has been filed against Mr. X by Ms. Y. Ms. Y alleged that Mr. X misappropriated 1 million handed in trust to Mr. X. Subsequently, the other creditors of Mr. X filed a petition for involuntary rehabilitation of Mr. X. A commencement order was issued by the court. What happens to the estafa case? Now guys, remember the answer is letter D. Okay, walang effect ang walang effect ang rehabilitation proceeding sa criminal cases. Okay, wala. However, ingat ka sa problem na to. Kasi nakalagay 'di ba Mr. X, individual 'yan. Okay? So dapat, remember ang individual po walang concept ng rehabilitation doon. So the assumption here is si Mr. X ay sole proprietor na registered sa DTI. Okay? The only way that an individual can avail of rehabilitation proceedings is siya ay sole proprietor na registered sa DTI. Okay? Pag ganito, ngari Mr. X lang, individual debtor, dapat wala yan. Okay? Dapat walang effect. Okay? Pero ang assumption dito sa problem is Mr. X is a sole proprietor registered with the DTI. Okay? So anyway, commencement order, remember, wala pong effect sa criminal case yan. Okay? Sige. 22. Which of the following is not a responsibility of the rehabilitation receiver? Okay. Next. Siyempre, letter C ang sagot. Okay, letter C po yan. Okay? Bakit? Remember, lahat ng iba dyan, oo. Okay? Yung letter C po, hindi siyang nag-approve ng rehab plan. Sino nag-approve yan? Yung creditors. Creditors po ang nag-approve ng rehab plan at subject to confirmation of the court. Okay? Remember the rehabilitation receiver does not approve the plan. Okay? Pinapresent lang niya yan sa creditors for approval. Okay? Creditors ang nag-approve. Alright? Sige. Kasi siyempre sila yung maapektuhan. Right? Sige. 23. When appointed by the court, it shall take the place of management and the governing body of the debtor and assume their rights and responsibilities. Okay, that is your management committee. Okay, so remember lang guys, in corporate rehab, okay, generally, hindi mapapalitan or hindi makikick out yung debtor or yung existing management ng debtor. Okay, sila pa rin. Kasi syempre, of course, sila naman talaga yung may alam kung paano patakbuhin yung negosyo. Diba? They just need time. So, remember, this only happens. Matatanggal lang sila kapag may scenarios na kailangan mangyari. But when appointed by the court. So, that means hindi ito automatic. Okay, hindi ito automatic. Ha? Hindi automatic ito. At kailangan may court appointment. So, next. The rehabilitation plan. Okay, the rehabilitation plan may include debt forgiveness. Okay, dasyon and pago. Debt to equity conversion. Alright, those things are expressly stated sa batas natin. May include lang naman. So, ibig sabihin, it is possible. Okay? Now, question. Ito lang bang tatlo ang pwede mong gawin? Hindi po. Okay? Ang sabi ng batas, it may include. Pwedeng nandun siya, pero meron pang mga ibang pamamaraan. Alright? Sige. Letter D, all 1, 2, and 3. 24. Okay? The debtor needs to agree with the out-of-court rehabilitation plan. Ay, syempre. Okay, kailangan nyo mag-agree dyan. Okay, true yan. Okay, true. Next, statement 2. Creditors representing at least 75% of the secured obligation must agree with the out-of-court rehabilitation plan. Okay, mali yan. Okay, hindi yan. Okay? Now, it's a different percentage. Okay? Now, remember lang guys na hindi po enough. Okay, hindi po enough na mag-agree yung creditors. Okay? Kailangan meron niyang meron niyang threshold. Okay? So, ito ha, yung all liabilities, meaning all creditors, pag out of court, yung OCRA, OCRA ang pinag-uusapan dito. So, meron yan, all creditors, secured creditors, unsecured. Okay? So, 1, all creditors, dapat yung total na pumayag, 85%. Okay? 85. Next, unsecured. Yung unsecured, doon sa 85, dapat yung unsecured doon, dapat 75% of the unsecured creditors also agree. Okay? So, itong 75, doon po sa unsecured ito nag-refer. Okay? Now, yung sa secured creditors, 67%. Okay? So, 67, 75, 85. Now, 67% of the secured, 75% of the unsecured, tapos yung total liabilities, dapat 85%. Alright? So, hindi po basta-basta yan. Kasi out of court ito, syempre dapat mas maraming pumayag na creditors. Kasi wala nang court supervision. Okay? Kung baga, wala nagbabantay sa'yo dito. So, it must require a higher threshold. Okay? Again, 67, 75, 85. Alright? So, for number 24, letter A. Next, the standstill period. Okay, ito yung para ano, standstill period guys. This one is para, well, para makapag-usap kayo ng payapa. Okay, kasi di ba nag-out of court negotiation nga kayo, di ba? So, ito yung ano, ito yung pamamaraan para walang manggugulo. Okay? Letter C po yan. Wala tayong ano, letter C. Okay? On the date of effectivity, pinapublish yan. Okay? So, 25, letter C. 26, both voluntary and involuntary liquidation, the amount of debt must be, letter A. Ito po, liquidation na po pinag-uusapan ha, hindi na po rehab. Okay, hindi na natin i-restore yung debtor, chachap-chapin na natin. Okay, tapos na, liquidation na. No hope na. Okay? So remember, hindi ka pwedeng basta-basta magpa-liquidate. Okay? Or hindi ka rin pwedeng basta-basta i-liquidate. So dapat yung utang is at least 500. Okay? 27. Involuntary liquidation. Okay, what must the creditors do? Okay? So ano yung kailangan patunayan ng creditors? Dapat may at least one act of insolvency. Alright? Listahan po yung act of insolvency. Okay? Listahan niya na mahaba. So again, anong rule natin kapag may listahan? Of course, the best way pa rin talaga is to memorize, pero alam naman natin, medyo mahirap na dahil sobrang dami ng listahan na kailangan memorizein. The next best thing is what? We have to familiarize ourselves. Okay, familiarize ha, we have to familiarize ourselves. So kailangan mo siyang basahin at least twice. Or kung kaya mo mas maraming beses, syempre, damihan. The more, the better. Okay? So, act of insolvency. Next. I remember guys, yung act of insolvency, kailangan yan i-prove sa involuntary liquidation. Kapag voluntary ang liquidation mo, yung pag-file ni debtor, yun mismo ang act of insolvency. Okay? Sige. 28. Which of the following is not an act of insolvency? Okay? So ano daw? Which is not an act of insolvency? Alright? Ang ano mo dyan, okay, is, teka, letter A, absent, hindi. Okay, tapos, conceals, yun pa rin yan. Merchant, okay. Ayun, okay. So ito guys remember, ito, dapat 30 days, right? Para maging act of insolvency, 30 days yan. Alright, 30 days po yan. So the answer here is letter C. Okay? Not an act of insolvency kasi dapat 30 days. Okay? For a period of 30 days. Next. Okay. During the pendency of court-supervised or pre-negotiated rehabilitation proceedings, the court may order the conversion of rehabilitation to liquidation. Okay? Pwede daw ba? Okay? Kasi ang hinihingi mo, rehab. Pero ang gagawin ni court, i-convert sa liquidation. Pwede raw ba yon? Yes. Okay, yes. So ito remember guys, yung letter A, pakibasang mabuti at pakikulayan. Okay? Remember, you are only eligible for rehabilitation if there is a substantial likelihood that you will be successfully rehabilitated. Okay? Kailangan may likelihood. Okay? Hindi nga lang likelihood substantial likelihood na pwede ka talagang ma-rehab. Okay? There is a chance of success, ibig sabihin. Why? Kasi kung walang substantial likelihood, ay huwag na tayo maglokohan. Di ba? Liquidate na lang. Pinapatagal mo lang yung mangyayari rin naman. You are just delaying the inevitable. Okay? So, i-liquidate na lang natin. So, anong susi dito once again? There is, yes, you are insolvent, but there is no substantial likelihood of being rehabilitated. Alright? Sige. So, 29 letter A. 30. Ito, bonus round. So, dami sinabi. Okay? So, ano raw Republic Act number yan? Of course, letter B. 10142. Okay? 10142. 31. Okay? So, guys, pag may mga ganito, okay, paki-ano lang kasi syempre, those are principles that you need to know. Okay? So, proceedings shall be in rem. So, pag in rem, guys, jurisdiction is acquired upon publication. Okay? Proceeding shall be summary. Okay? Summary, non-adversarial. Yan po yung mga keywords dyan. Again, in rem, jurisdiction upon publication. Summary procedure. Okay? Tapos, non-adversarial manner. Okay? So, yan ang financial rehabilitation. Alright? Pati yung insolvency actually ganyan din. Now, the debtor, syempre, may rehab or may liquidation, debtor ang subject doon. So, the term debtor does not include banks, insurance companies, pre-need companies, national and local government agencies or units. Okay? So, a bank, okay, ito yung sa New Central Bank Act, insurance company, itong meaning. Okay, pre-need, siyempre meron yung may pre-need code na po tayo. Alright, so, which of the following are false? Siyempre wala. Okay, true lahat yan. Okay? 32. According to the FRIA, okay, according to FRIA, Okay? Rehab shall refer to the restoration of the debtor to a condition of successful operation and solvency if it is shown that its continuance of operation is economically feasible, its creditor can recover by way of present value payments in the projected plan, more if the debtor continues as a going concern than if it is immediately liquidated. So may liquidation analysis ka. Okay? Titingnan mo kung mas malaki ba yung makukuha ng future cash payments rather than yung liquidation value. Okay? Now, 2. So true yan ha. 2. Illiquid shall refer to a financial condition of the debtor that is generally unable to pay its liabilities as they fall due. Okay? False po yan. Okay? Mamaya paliwanag natin bakit. False yan ha. Now, 3. Insolvent shall refer to the financial condition of a debtor that has liabilities that are greater than its assets. Okay? True ito, yung 3. Now, balik ka dun sa number 2. Bakit false yan? Remember guys, in FRIA, dalawa ang meaning ng insolvent. Okay? Dalawa pang meaning ng insolvent. First meaning is this. Yung alam natin, yung greater liabilities than assets. Diba? Negative equity ka na. Now, itong statement 2, in reality, tama naman, illiquid talaga. Okay? Yung assets mo, most of the time, ang situation dyan, yung assets mo ay non-current. Pero yung liabilities mo ay current. Okay? Kaya hindi ka makabayad. Alright? Or yung assets mo are, yung mga, non-current nga. Tapos yung ang pambayad kasi normally, di ba, cash ang pambayad. So wala kang cash. Kunyari, ang assets mo, puro lupa. Ayun. Illiquid ka. You are not liquid. Now, ang problem, sa FRIA guys, it does not make a distinction. Okay? Ito po statement 2, ang meaning dyan sa FRIA is not illiquid, but rather insolvent. So under FRIA, I think we mentioned this earlier, yung insolvent refers to itong number 2, and it also refers to itong number 3. Dalawa po ang meaning. So therefore, which of the following are false? Letter B. Only one? Ano yung false? Ito. Kasi dapat insolvent din yan. Okay? Next. 33. Okay? FRIA defines rehabilitation. Ito yung sinabi natin kanina. Okay? So how do you achieve yung rehabilitation? This may be achieved by any of the following means. First, court-supervised rehabilitation, of course. Okay? Next, pre-negotiated, of course. And lastly, out of court. Okay, yung OCRA. Yes, pwede rin yan. So which of the following are false? Of course, letter B. Okay? 34. Okay, FRIA. Okay, alam natin yan. Definition. This may be achieved through court-supervised proceedings. Okay, which may be. So court-supervised, alam natin, tama yun. So paano raw nagkakaroon ng court-supervised proceedings? 1, voluntary, when it is initiated by the debtor. O syempre, true. 2, involuntary, when initiated by the creditors. Okay, true din yan. Or, in rem, when initiated by a third person. Ayan, hindi na yan. False na yan. Okay, walang ganyan. So, court-supervised proceedings may be voluntary or involuntary. So, which of the following are false? Only one. Ano yun? Yung statement 3. Alright, hindi po pwede mangyari yan. Okay? Next. Okay. According to FRIA, if the court finds the petition for rehab to be sufficient in form and substance, it shall, within 5 working days, okay, issue a commencement order, which shall, in addition to the effects of a stay order, serve as the legal basis for rendering null and void any set off after the commencement date of any debt owed by the debtor by any of the creditors and perfection of any lien against debtor's property after commencement date as required. Okay? So, pag nagka-stay order na po, wala na, hindi na pwede. Okay? Pag may nangyari, okay? Kapag nag-set off siya, meaning nagkaroon ng di ba set off is compensation. Alright? Tapos yung lien, kapag kunyari may attachment or nag-execute ng mortgage, ganyan, yun po, yung commencement order ay pwedeng maging basis para ipa-declare mong void yun. Okay? Para ipa-declare mong void. Okay? Basis po shall be the legal basis for rendering null and void. So, yun ang basis para maging void sila. Anyway, so that's one effect. Aside from that, the commencement order shall also, okay, 1, 2, 3, vest the rehabilitation receiver with all the powers. True yan. Okay? Ang bantayan mo dito, shall access, including bank accounts of whatever nature. Alright? So, exception po ito, saan? Dun sa bank secrecy. Okay, exception sa bank secrecy ito. Right? Next. Prohibit or otherwise serve as legal basis, blah, blah, blah. Alright? Results of any extrajudicial activity or process to seize property. Okay? Enforce a claim, etc. Unless otherwise allowed. Okay? So, yan po ay true din. Okay? Kasi remember yung commencement order, guys, may stay order dun. Okay? Pinapatigil niya talaga lahat. Okay? Kasi, ang objective natin is ma-rehab ito, hindi na kayo pwedeng mag-unahan. Dito tayo lahat mag-usap sa korte na to. Lahat ng gagawin outside of this proceeding, hindi pwede. Okay? Meron mga exception, yes, that's true. Pero those are very few. At saka specified yan ang batas. Alright? So generally speaking, lahat po ng proceedings ay titigil. Okay? Ang matutuloy na lamang is itong corporate rehab. Right? So statement 2 is also true. 3. Consolidate the resolution of all legal proceedings by and against the debtor